This brother here, myself, all of us were born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this because it's natural. Because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among black people that their own natural appearance, its physical appearance, is beautiful.
The battle on black natural hair is one that has existed for centuries, especially in the black female community. Black women are scrutinized and taunted for wearing their hair in its natural state due to its comparison with the textures, length, and characteristics of the hair of white women. White women stand as the ideal concept of beauty in American society, and for many years, black women have felt compelled to conform to this standard. It was not until the early 20th century that black women publicly defied societal standards as they attempted to discover their individuality and beauty through the natural hair movement. The definition of beauty is not a new concept, but has been socially constructed in America by white supremacy since the age of slavery. African hair stands as a culture, a heritage, social significance, and a strengthening communal importance. African hair is an identity. While many believe that this argument is not important, deeming it as just hair, the aesthetic perspective of black hair is hardly scratching the surface. Throughout Africa, before the Atlantic slave trade, hair was used in different and intricate braiding styles to indicate status of wealth, marriage, age, religion, ethnic identity, and rank within the community. You could actually identify someone's surname simply by noticing a woman's unique hairstyle. As Africans were stripped from their homeland and taken to the Americas, they were also stripped of their privilege of hygiene, making hair care impossible to execute. One of the first things slave traders did was shave women's heads. This did not simply remove their hair. Instead, it erased the visual aspect of their culture and pride, denouncing it as irrelevant to the New World. Shaving the head was only the beginning of the long process black women underwent. It was merely the initial action of disgracing black culture and identity, attempting to break the spirit in order to force blacks to submit to easier control. Compared to the European constructed ideal Victorian lady, black women were incapable of holding any part of beauty as they were considered to be the exact opposite of what whites found to be socially acceptable.
For so many, many years, we were told that only white people were beautiful. Only straight hair, light eyes, light skin was beautiful. And so black women would try everything they could to straighten their hair and lighten their skin to look as much like white women.
Turn of the 20th century, black women made huge efforts to adapt to what society thought was beautiful. This, of course, was persuaded by the white gaze. Many black individuals purchased merchandise that would chemically alter the appearance of the black hair. Products such as straightening combs and curlers were used in the early 1900s and grossly escalated in the popularity within weeks. C.J. Walker was known for her production of a wide array of black hair care products. She was criticized for promoting black women to conform to white beauty standards by popularizing certain styles, like the press and curl. Yet, her styles were so idolized by black women that she was regarded as the first black female millionaire to have accumulated wealth single-handedly. In the 1950s, George E. Johnson further drove black women toward the standards of white beauty by introducing a permanent straightening product for men, which was introduced to women soon after its date of manufacture. It wasn't until the mid-1960s when black women became more vocal about their struggle with discovering individual ideas about black beauty, confidence, and pride. The hair straightening methods that were previously beloved by the black community began to be seen as an oppressive action that black women felt forced to do. Black women began to come to an understanding that their hair was a marker for their identity and past, existing as one of the only visual aspects they possessed from their African homeland. This was the natural hair movement. Keeping their hair in its natural state played a big role for blacks to reclaim history. It is a way to feel reconnected to their African roots and show appreciation for their ancestors. Natural hair was reshaping previous notions of blacks and made huge impacts on redefining black beauty. Kathleen Cleaver stands as one of the major activists in the natural hair care movement, as she is most famously known for her 1960 speech exclusively discussing natural hair.
As a member of the Black Panther Party, she was militant and political as she assembled a fight for Black rights. Cleaver did all that was humanly possible to discover a newfound place in equality for Black individuals. Many believe that Cleaver's speech gave way to the natural hair movement as we know it today. Other activists such as Angela Davis, Foxy Brown, Cleopatra Jones, all stood in the battle for what seemed for Black pride. In 1988, director Spike Lee addressed natural hair movement as well as other countless issues within the Black community in School Days. Even through their constant attempts to identify natural beauty and visual connection with their African homes, Black women and art activists were targeted, harassed, and arrested by police forces as whites were determined to suppress any form of Black pride. And because of this, the natural hair movement was terminated within a single decade.
For years, Black women have been dictated by the concept that everything that derives from Africa is deemed as ugly, from the darker complexion to the curlier hair. Black hair has been considered to be anything but beautiful, and this idea has resulted into a continuous process of mental slavery within Black women, causing them to become repulsed with their own natural bodies throughout the centuries. As the years progress and we move closer into the 21st century, Black women are still making an effort to discover their concrete sense of identity and beauty, regardless of the countless points of subjection that are a consequence of existing in a society controlled by the white gaze. Although the natural hair movement was a giant step for women toward their self-discovery, have they truly moved forward at all? To take a closer look at the female Black community, countless women continue to alter their natural hair as wigs, weaves, and straightening products remain famous in the world of hair care. Not only have these products remained popular, but there is also a noticeable divide within the Black female community itself, as the argument of natural beauty and augmented beauty hovers over women. What once stood as a way to conquer white subjection and unity now serves as an entirely new issue within Black lives. The insulting white gestures regarding Black hair that denigrate the female confidence are now supplemented by Black women mocking each other, whether it be for wearing natural hair or for lacking the pride in its innate form. In a way, Black women have become their own enemy and act as another obstacle withholding the discovery of their definition of beauty in American society. The time period of the natural hair movement was a period of evolution for Black culture. In some ways, it progressed toward a state of acceptance, and in others, perhaps a moment of regression. Black women continue to struggle in finding their personal ideas of beauty, and the white society continues to suppress and restrict Black pride and confidence. Regardless of the unchanging society, Black women must come to terms with themselves and recognize that beauty cannot be constructed because it is a perspective. It is an opinion. It is contested. Perhaps one day, Black women will gain a sense of comfort in their own skin, even though the white gaze will never be lifted.